Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to read through the full article. There's a link in the description. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. Also, remember to check out the friends of the channel should you need a mental health break. South Dakota woman who stomped her friend's 5-year-old son to death has been sentenced to prison. Here is the scumbag concerned. Her name is Julia Lee Carter. Let's read through the article. A woman in South Dakota was sentenced to more than 2 decades in prison for brutally killing her friend's 5-year-old son by stomping on his abdomen. First Judicial Circuit Court Judge Chris Giles handed down a 22 years with 18 years suspended to Julia Lee Carter for slaying Matteo Tubecchia in 2020. Appearing at the Davidson County Public Safety Center on Tuesday, Carter, the scumbag concerned, addressed the victim's family and apologized for her horrific actions. Here's a quote from the scumbag. "I'd like to say to the family and friends of Matteo that I am sorry. That word means nothing to you, I know. As a mother, if I was going through what you were going through, I'd feel the same way. You have that right to hate me. I am truly sorry, and nothing I can do can bring him back." That's right, scumbag. Nothing you can do can bring him back. Your apologies, seemingly some people out there are willing to forgive. They feel comforted by such words. For me, it would mean absolutely nothing. I would have no care in the world as to how Julie Lee Carter, the scumbag murderer, feels. Don't care. Not interested, bitch. Back to the article. Officers with the Mitchell Department of Public Safety on June the 22nd, 2020 at approximately 8 a.m. responded to a 911 call from someone who said she was on her way to the emergency room at Queen of Peace Hospital with an unresponsive 5-year-old boy. Doctors attempted advanced life-saving measures, but the boy succumbed to his injuries and was declared dead at the hospital. A subsequent autopsy determined that Matteo died as a result of significant blunt force trauma to the abdomen, and the death was ruled a homicide. In an interview with police, the scumbag concerned, Carter, who was living with Matteo and his family at the time of the homicide, admitted to investigators that she kicked the 5-year-old approximately 5 times and stomped on his abdomen at least once. She was arrested and charged with first-degree manslaughter and cruelty to a minor. She was later charged with second-degree murder as well. According to the report, the seemingly light sentence was the result of a deal Carter's attorney reached with Davidson County State's attorney. After a psychologist testified on the scumbag's behalf, apparently the psychologist examined the scumbag and told the court that she had diagnosed her with bipolar and PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorders. The psychologist reportedly explained that the scumbag was impaired when she attacked the boy and was not aware of right and wrong until after the attack happened. She also noted that the scumbag did not mean to cause Matteo's death. So I don't know what to make of that. Should we feel sympathy for this murderer? Should we feel sympathy for the murderer? Why are we feeling sympathy for this murderer? Should we feel sympathy for all murderers? Well, we're supposed to feel sympathy for this one because a psychologist has said that she suffers from bipolar and PTSD. Well, hang on, psychologist. Does everyone who suffers from bipolar and or PTSD, do they all become murderers? No, they don't, do they? And if they did, does that mean that they should get a lighter sentence? I don't know. I don't think so. Certainly, I don't think that's a logical, an absolute conclusion to come to. So I'm far from convinced that this murderous scumbag gets a pass because a psychologist is able to point to some mental health issues. I think a lot of people out there suffer from one mental health issue or another. How many people do you know that have been diagnosed with bipolar or PTSD? I mean, I know some. I know a few. I guess you do too. And are they murderers? No. If they go and murder a 5-year-old, are they going to get given a bit of leeway? Probably not. Hopefully not. Anyway, back to the article. The scumbag pleaded guilty to 1 count of first-degree manslaughter as a mentally ill individual. While first-degree manslaughter in South Dakota typically carries an automatic life sentence, the judge accepted the prosecution's recommendation of 40 years with 18 years suspended. So 40 years with 18 years suspended means 22 years in jail. And I'm guessing, with the opportunity of parole. So it could be less than 22 years, could be approximately half that amount for killing a 5-year-old, which makes no sense to me. If first-degree manslaughter in South Dakota typically carries an automatic life sentence, well then why is it not automatic in this case? I mean, it rubs me up the wrong way. Back to the article. Addressing the court on Tuesday, Miss Cummins, I'm not sure who she is, not sure. Oh, the Davidson County State's Attorney Jim Miskimins said the deal required concessions from both parties, but he ultimately believed it was fair under the unusual circumstances. Here's what the Davidson County State's Attorney has to say. He said, "This has not been a day that any of us have looked forward to. Mateo is gone. Nothing can be said or done here today that changes that fact. It pains me to be here under these circumstances. The agreed upon disposition here is a significant sacrifice on the part of the state and the family of Mateo and other victims in this matter, as well as the defendant." I think I agree with this statement. I mean, by giving the murderous scumbag a lighter sentence, then yeah, you are the state and the family of other victims are making a sacrifice. I think that's a good way to look at this, the right way to look at this. You're making a sacrifice, and why the fuck should they make that sacrifice? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I don't like it. It rubs me up the wrong way. I mean, was that absolutely necessary to get a conviction? I mean, I can imagine if it was absolutely necessary to get a conviction, then maybe it was a sensible thing to do, but I don't know. It just rubs me up the wrong way. How come this murderous scumbag, this bitch, this whore, this C word, that gets to kill a 5-year-old boy, and she gets a lighter sentence? Why? Because she can claim bipolarism. She can claim to have PTSD. I'm not surprised you have PTSD. You fucking stomped a child to death.